Hello, Peaceful Valley Church. It is Thursday, and today we are going to look in the book of Psalms. Psalm 131 is where we're going to be. This section of the book of Psalms is in a group called the Psalms of Ascent. And what they are intended to be used for is on the special days when the Israelites were supposed to go to Jerusalem for different feasts and ceremonies and things like that. Say, for instance, Passover or Pentecost or the Feast of Booths. They would get into caravans and go to Jerusalem. In fact, we see this happening early in Jesus' life. When he was 12 years old, his family had gone to Jerusalem for a feast. And when it was time to head back home, they were 2 days into the return journey before they realized that Jesus wasn't with them. So they had to go back to Jerusalem to find him. And he was in the temple with the leaders of the temple, and they're talking about theology. But what was going on there is the caravan of people had all gone to Jerusalem to worship in a special feast, and then they were returning home. So the group of psalms called the Psalms of Ascent are there for the people to sing as they are ascending their way to Jerusalem, their way to the temple. And they would sing these songs together. And lots of different themes, but in Psalm 131, they're getting at the attitude of the worshipers. It would be easy for them to be arrogant. It would be easy for them to be distracted. It would be easy for them to be discouraged and all the other stuff. And yet Psalm 131 is there to declare to the Lord that because he is our hope, we have quieted our souls before we approach him. So Psalm 131, a song of ascents of David. O Lord, my heart is not lifted up. My eyes are not raised too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me. But I have calmed and quieted my soul like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child is my soul within me. O Israel, hope in the Lord, from this time forth and forevermore. What happens when we get going in life and the day-to-day struggles, and maybe there's big stuff going on or little stuff going on, or maybe nothing's going on, our heart gets anxious. We get so committed to fixing the thing that's going on, we take our eyes off of God. And what David here is singing about and leading Israel to sing about is that if I actually believed that God is the sovereign king of the universe, I have nothing to worry about. Now, I've got things to plan for. Wisdom is still going to play a role, and you're going to be diligent and all of that stuff. We're not talking about laziness here. We're talking about anxiety. We're talking about, and that Greek word that we translate anxiety is talking about trying to be two people at one time. Having this divided mind as though you can take care of your stuff and God's stuff at the same time. But for David, he's saying, I have chosen in my heart to treat God as capable of taking care of everything. That's what it means when we come together to worship God in faith and dependence and praise. We are considering him the one who is capable. And so as the Israelites would come together on their way, ascending the hill to Jerusalem, to the temple to worship God on their feast day, they would sing the song to remind one another, we're not going to fix things. We're not going to change the world. We're going as needy people who are loved by God and who God takes care of. And so we go looking at him. We're not looking at all the stuff. We're just looking at him. Well, this Sunday, we're hoping to be together here in the facilities. We're kind of struggling through what the government's telling us, but it seems like we're going to be able to meet together this Sunday. And so I'm hoping to see you this Sunday. But this Song of Ascents calls us to prepare our hearts. We're not coming to tell the government what to do. We're not coming to tell neighbors what to do. We're not coming to tell anybody else what to do. We're not coming to fix problems. We are coming we are ascending to the Lord's presence, where we can see him in his beauty and in his splendor and in his majesty and be amazed at him and praise him and be devoted to him. And that's what the people of God do. So even now, you now have 3 days to be preparing your heart, to quiet your heart. Not to come on Sunday with anxiety or distress or concern, but to come trusting in the sovereign God, whose compassionate love cares for his people. May this be an encouraging thought, but also a motivating thought as we continue on to quiet our spirits, to know that truly, every day, God is the greatest thing that we have. And this Sunday, we get to gather together to worship him and praise him in all of his glory. Have a good day, Peaceful Valley Church. Goodbye.